Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be your favorite sports bettor for the UFL for the upcoming 2026 season. And I'm hoping to have the same success I had last season and bring it over to this season. And I hope to be even better. And all that means is that you guys are going to make a lot of money this season. And when I'm making money, you guys are making money. So hopefully this season will be a whole lot better and some money for you guys in the wallet. Anyway, before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button for me and leave your comments below at the end of this. So we're going to talk about the money lines, the over and unders, and the spreads. And we're going to begin with opening weekend and opening night between the Birmingham Stallions going up to face the Louisville Kings. Both teams have new head coaches. You know, AJ McCarron takes over for Skip Holtz and the talented Birmingham Stallions. And then you have new head coach Chris Redman taking over for a new franchise, the Louisville Kings. And how do I look at this matchup? Well, the reason I'm moneylining the Birmingham Stallions is because they have a talented roster. They've been pretty much the most dominant team in the UFL since they came back, right? And believe it was 2022. Okay, and when I look at this game, I don't like the matchup at all. I feel like this wasn't the game the UFL should have opened up with. We'll talk about that game that should have opened up the UFL season. But you're going to get a talented team going up against a roster for a new franchise that was made up of guys from other teams as well as incoming new flesh and blood to help out the Louisville Kings. They are led by Chris Redman, new head coach. Never seen him coach at the pro level. I think this is his first gig at the pro level, and it's going to be at the head coaching position. Don't know much about his assistant, so that's on me for not doing enough homework for this opening weekend. But I'll say this. Took me a while to search all these opening lines, and I looked at Reddit. They had the opening lines, and we're going to money line the Stallions. We're going to take the over and under of over 42 and a half, even though that's a high 42 and a half. I always feel the defenses are ahead of the offense. And we're going to take that -7. Like I said, I think Stallions should win this game by 10 or more points. So -7 seems right. They are the favorites for the game. So it's just that over and under of 42 and a half. I think most of the points will come from the Stallions, but take the over 42 and a half. Let's move on to probably the game of the weekend and also the game that I felt should have opened up the 2026 UFL season. It would have been a great matchup. You have the defending champions and the DC Defenders with their coach of the year, Shannon Harris, did a fantastic job last season, bringing back quarterback Jordan Ta'amu, who played at an MVP level towards the end of the season. It's one of the reasons why they were the world champions of the UFL. Now they're going up against a team that wants revenge. St. Louis Battlehawks did not like the way their season ended against the DC Defenders. They were manhandled all year long by them, and they want revenge. And they're going to be playing this game at probably the best fan base in the UFL at St. Louis, and they're going to be coming back with a brand new head coach, Ricky Proehl, who was an assistant with the Battlehawks the previous season under Anthony Beck. Now he takes over because Beck has moved on to the Orlando Storm. And I'm pretty sure he's already putting up in the locker room, hey, if you want to be where you want to be like the Defenders, if you want to be the champions, you got to get past the Defenders. And it's opening night. It's in front of our home crowd, the best home crowd in the UFL. So I'm sure he's getting his team prepared. So they are the underdogs, the Battlehawks. So here it is, the defending champions traveling to St. Louis, and the Battlehawks are the underdogs. Sounds about right. However, I do see an upset coming. I'm going to take the St. Louis Battlehawks to money line. I'm going to take the over of 44 and a half because I believe there'll be some scoring. And I'm going to take that +1.5 because the Battlehawks are the underdog. And the Defenders being a favorite should light a fire under the Battlehawks. They do have a good defense. They do have two good pass rushers there that can get to the quarterback. But I love this game. I was really shocked that the UFO did not open with that game. I feel like, the person that put the schedule together should have should have somehow said to himself and said, you know what? I need to get this game to open up. This is the matchup. This is how you want to open up the season. So they missed on that opportunity, but I love this game. This is the game of the weekend. Let's move on to the next one. Houston Gamblers with brand new head coach Kevin Sumlin going up against the Dallas Renegades at Dallas and their new head coach, Rick Neuheisel. Now, what I love about these games are two former ex-college successful coaches, Kevin Sumlin with Texas A&M, and you have Rick Neuheisel of UCLA. What I love about this matchup is that these coaches are very good at what they do. They know how to fire up their football team. Rick Neuheisel, he's offensive oriented. He just loves exciting offenses. And I think he will light that fire for the Renegades. I think the Renegades' problem last season, they kind of were sluggish towards the end of the year. They did not look good. The Spring King, Luis Perez, just did not play well towards the end of the season. He was taking a lot of sacks. Now with the Houston Gamblers, don't know much about their roster, but I do know that Kevin Sumlin loves defense. He's one of those guys that can fire up a football team. So right now, I'm going to go and roll with the money line with the Renegades because I feel they just have, the more talented players on that team, as well as, returning back most of their roster, right? About 65% of their roster. I really like Tyler Vaughns, too, for the Renegades. I think he's one of the best receivers in the league, and I think that's where I'm going to go with that edge, right? Is there going to be a lot of scoring in this game? I don't know. I'm going to take the under 43.5. Could be one of those 23 to 20 games, late field goal. Could be a defensive game as well, until both offenses figure out what's the best way to go about it. Like I said, defenses are always ahead of the offense to open up the season. The minus 5.5 seems high to me. When I was searching other places on gambling sites, this was the only one that kept popping up, minus 5.5. And I don't know, should I take that plus 5.5? I don't know. I think Rick Neuheisel might win this game by a touchdown. I know I said 23 to 20 type of game, but maybe it's a 26-20 type of game. But then that would put the over and under as over, right? But I also think it could be one of those, I don't know, can I say it, 23 to 17 type of games, right? And that would put it at 40, right? So let's go with the under 43.5. Let's take that minus 5.5. I think the Renegades are good enough to beat them by a touchdown. Let's go to the next game. We have a new franchise, Columbus Aviators, with a new head coach in Ted Ginn Jr., heading towards Orlando to play the Storm. And their new head coach and veteran coach, ex of the St. Louis Battlehawks, Anthony Beck. This is another interesting game. The underdogs are the Orlando Storm. I don't know how they figured out, unless they were at the scrimmages, because there's no preseason games. So if they were at the scrimmages, they probably saw enough to make the Storm an underdog. How bad is their roster? I don't know. I do know that one of the assistants in this game for the Columbus Aviators is Todd Haley, and he's an offensive guru who loves to open up the offense. He has NFL experience as well as head coaching experience in both the NFL and UFL. And that's a little bit of an edge, guys. You got to keep your eyes on that, right? Because sometimes when Vegas puts out these odds or Reddit or wherever you go online to find out, they usually look for these type of little edges, right? So it's one of the reasons why I put that plus 7.5, right? Because I felt that was too high, especially two new franchises, made up rosters of different players from other teams, drafts and all of that. I know that Columbus has a fantastic quarterback, a mobile quarterback, and an exciting one in Jalen McClendon, who did well last season with the Houston Roughnecks. But the Orlando Storm have Dorian Thompson. Anybody knows him? UCLA quarterback who did very well and then went into the pros with a bad franchise in the Cleveland Browns. And I think this is a guy that wants to prove he belongs back in the NFL and wants to really prove people wrong about him. He's another mobile, exciting quarterback, a little bit like Jalen McClendon, but I'm going to give a little bit of an edge there for Dorian Thompson. Um, Anthony Beck, fantastic head coach, knows how to fire up his football teams. You saw his success with the Battlehawks, and then the league decided they wanted to bring a little bit of stability with a new franchise, and lo and behold, he ends up in Orlando. Great move by the UFO in doing that. They're the underdogs. I'm taking the underdogs, Orlando Storm. I'm taking the under 41.5. I don't feel good about that. If you guys want to go over, that's fine. I believe that both these offenses are going to maybe do very well. Under 41.5, it's like asking for a 20-17 game, right? Something like that, right? That's what it is. That's how I feel about this game. Like a late field goal wins it. I'm taking the underdog Storm. I'm taking a plus 7.5. I'm going to show you the whiteboard now so you guys could copy down what I'm telling you so you guys can go out there and make money. I got 2 asterisks on 2 underdogs. It's indicating that it's a tough bet. If you want to roll the opposite way, that's fine. I'm here to make you guys money, and you guys will be making money on opening weekend of the UFL. Let me post this up real quick. All right, can you guys see that? I hope you can. Write it down. You see the 2 asterisks. Those 2 money line teams are the underdogs for their games. Stallions, of course, being the favorites in their game, and the Renegades, of course, being favorites for their games. Okay, that's how we stand on the money board, whiteboard, right? Call it the money board too, right? So player props, let's talk a little bit about that. As far as quarterbacks go, right? You got Stallions with Matt Corral. He's up and down, right? This is a guy that could throw touchdowns and interceptions. You don't know what type of game he's going to get. I'm not big on player props anyway in the UFL. Rosters changes, new head coaches and stuff like that. UFO does a lot of rotation at the quarterback position as well as running backs and wide receivers. They're trying to give a lot of these players opportunities to play so they could get back into the NFL or try to. Anyway, I'm not big on player props. If I was an amateur sports gambler or even a professional sports gambler, I would stay away from player props. But if you have to choose player props, go with the quarterbacks. Let me name them. I just think that Matt Corral, he'll probably give you a touchdown or 2 on opening night. Maybe you want to roll with him as a player prop, but with touchdowns. The Defenders and Battlehawks game, I'm really not clear who's going to open up for the Battlehawks, but whoever it is, I'm pretty sure that the running game's going to get going. Maybe there's a running back that could give you a player prop touchdown. The wide receivers, I believe Hakeem Butler is coming back, one of the best receivers in the UFL. Maybe he gets in the end zone a couple of times. The DC Defenders have a plethora of wide receivers. Okay, Ty Scott's just one guy that's coming off the top of my head at the moment, but they have some good receivers. And then the return of Jordan Ta'amu makes it probably the best player prop you can get out of these guys, right? Because sometimes when I watch DC play, Jordan plays the whole game. It's rare that you see him take a bench, okay, or rotate. The Dallas Renegades, Spring King, Luis Perez, he's another guy like Jordan Ta'amu, plays pretty much the whole game. He'll be going up against the Houston Gamblers. Don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback. So I probably would stay with Luis Perez. He could give you a touchdown or 2. Orlando Storm, Dorian Thompson, maybe a guy who's trying to prove he wants to go back to the NFL. Probably puts on a show opening night. I like to think he'll throw a couple of TDs in that game. As McClendon, maybe a rushing touchdown, right? He's the QB for the Columbus Aviators. And let's see, I'm not big on player props, not big at all. So, guys, that's pretty much where I stand for opening weekend. I hope you guys run with what I put out there. I'm now going to show you, again, the whiteboard just to make sure that you guys understood about opening weekend in the UFL. Can you guys read that? I hope you can. All right, there you go. All right, and that's pretty much it, guys. I'm hoping to be your UFL sports bettor throughout the season. I had success last season, and I'm hoping it rolls over to this season, but even better. So let's go get it, guys. Let's hit those sports books at your local casinos, and let's get it on your sports app. I'm feeling pretty good about my picks for this opening weekend. Let's go get it, guys, and good luck this weekend, and I'll see you for week number 2 after opening weekend. So, guys, keep tuning in to me. Again, hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your comments below whether you disagree or agree with me. And I want to hear from you guys. Guys, I need a lot of viewers. I'm your favorite sports bettor. You know that. I've been doing the NFL and the UFL now for the past couple of seasons and having success. I want you guys to have success. Make that money, bet more, win big, or bet big and win big. No matter what, I'm the guy you're looking for to give you the true odds on these games. So, guys, let's go get it, and I'll see you next week for week number 2.